All right, Pro Dumpster Diver back at it again, and damn, I have a mother load here. Okay, now what you guys are basically seeing is something that I recently got, and I did want to share it because someone had put in the comment section what's some of the coolest things you ever bought, and this is by far it. So what you're actually looking at is, I want to explain this the right way possible. Okay, so there's, and I could expand the screen itself as best as I can right now, but there's so many bags of them. So what you're looking at here, this is actually two different sets of orders that I have. One is 5 pounds of gold plated Santa Barbara jewelry, and another one is actually 8 pounds of Santero Hoodoo cross jewelry. Okay, now what you're looking at is all of these were basically gold plated inside of a machine. There's a YouTube group that actually shows people how to how to electroplate metal items in tubs. And so this is something that you can actually do yourself. It doesn't take that long, but the setup is a bit complicated, so you have to do it right because half of it will be electroplated and half of it won't. Okay. Now, I found these online and I actually picked them up pretty cheap. The difference is I want to make sure they actually work. So, what you're seeing is, I'll show you a couple bags of these right now. Like, this is a small bag and it says this might be about 1 pound. And this one, I believe, says one gross right now, or 1 pound there. Okay, so we're going to open up a look at these pieces. This was extra that they actually put in for me. So this piece here is an actual gold plated sword that I had actually got. Now the good part is, to reverse electroplate this is going to be pretty easy because this is long, this is metal. So I'm going to hook, in the previous video, hook the electrode up to this, which will be the positive, and the negative one will actually be in the water in the lead sinker, and I'm going to dip this in. And what's going to happen is it's going to start sizzling all the gold off. Now, this piece will probably only take 30 seconds to do, because I can actually just hook it up to this part here and basically dip it in and pull it out. And then what you have to do is basically flip it over, which is why you want to wear gloves definitely when you do it. Now, I love the long pieces themselves. They're very good because when I'm done with it, I can just go ahead and throw it away. Now, these pieces are a bit smaller and they're going to take a longer time to do. That's why you want to end up having a copper basket, which is definitely good. This on it says Cardia. This says Cardia Eprisna on it right now, or Bandia or something like that, which is pretty interesting. So this piece here wouldn't take that long to do because it's such a small piece. The problem is I have so many of them, and I would literally have to spend all day reverse electroplating these pieces, which would take a very, very long time. And I might not want to do that. So that's why it's good to have an actual copper basket, as you've seen someone like Shri Tips actually have, which is definitely good. Now, this piece and this piece are actually very good. Now, there's some smaller sword pieces, which I thought were cool. They put a few of them in. Now, some of you are basically saying, how would you find stuff like that? So what happens is, and I'll actually give you an example of how this actually is. Here's one of the first orders I did with the seller online, right? It's a little piece that looks like this with a man holding a basket like that, right? It's a small little gold plated pendant, okay? It's pretty good. It's easy to find right now. They're all over online. You'll probably pay maybe $15 for one. One little one doesn't have that much gold on it at all, okay? It's probably only got maybe $1 worth of gold on it, right? And it doesn't take that long because they just hook the copper piece into it and basically just put it in and then basically pull it out, and it goes on a riff. It's an automated process. Now here's the problem, right? I have so many of them. So if I were to try to reverse electroplate each and every single piece, it would take me 10 seconds to do it. But there are so many bags here right now, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would just take absolutely so long to do it. And it would definitely be an absolute problem to do that. So I would have to put that in a copper basket. So how did you get things like this? So what happens, very simple, is someone actually goes online and they make an order. They make the order and they bring it to the manufacturer. And the manufacturer makes it based on that person's design. The problem is, when it's finished designing and they've modeled it, they'll mail it to that person, and that person gets to look at what they basically bought, just like a business card. Now, the problem is that they would pick it up and say, hey, this isn't what I ordered. It's actually incorrect. I'd like to send it back for what I ordered, right? And so what they would do is they would send it back to the designer or the manufacturer. And then what they would be told is you have to refine the process. Okay. And so they send back new designs of what they want, and then they make it and send it back, and the customer approves it. The problem is they've already electroplated the product and the design from the customer, and they need a chance to make their money back from it. So what they do is they actually end up selling that customer's bad design online in order to recoup some of the money, which is what people basically do. Because again, the manufacturer still put time, effort, and money into this actual process. All right. And so you'll find things like this, which will be on wholesale sites for incorrect customer design, please review. And you basically review it, and it shows that, the lettering might have been wrong, the stamp might have been wrong, it might have been gold plated and not gold filled, right? Things like that basically happen. And so they have to sell that back to get their money. And so you'll find stuff like that online on eBay where, again, I think it's beautiful. It looks a good design to me, but it's not what the customer wanted. So the customer would have to pay 50%, and I explained it in a previous video. So let's say they paid, each bag in here is about 1 pound or so, right? I think it's, yeah. Each bag is about 1 pound. And 1 pound to electroplate all of these for the gold and the design and the manufacturing part would basically cost about, let's say, like $200 to $300. Because even though they're small pieces, they have to be done correctly and individually, right? To that person's design. So it had to have a punch, it had to have all of that there. All right. Now that all of that got done, they take it, and the customer says, fine, I want it done like I wanted. The manufacturer says, well, first of all, you sent us the incorrect one, but you have to pay us 50% of what we actually did for the order. So the customer has to pay $150 for each pound of it, and then it gets done. Okay. Now, again, the business has to recoup some of their money back. So what they'll do is they'll go online and sell the incorrect customer unit, okay? And it'll be on wholesale. So what they'll do is they'll also try to get some of their money back, even though they basically got paid more. So if you find a couple bad customer designs, you can do pretty well. Okay. Now, again, things happen. People mess up on the designs and everything. All right, people do stuff. So you'll find bags like that, okay, which are definitely good, that you can definitely purchase. So as we're looking, like, there's a lot on this table right now. There's 8 pounds plus 5 pounds. And then I have just heavy bags of ones like these, okay? So they're all gold plated in the tub, but again, it was incorrect customer design. So it was designed incorrectly. So you'll see stuff like this, right? It's gold plated, but it's very small. If you were to hand do it for a craft, yeah, that would be great. But the problem is, it'd be just too much. It would just be way too much right now. Okay, that's what this basically is. So it came in a box. I like the box it came in. It had a lot of padding on it, which kind of did add to the shipping, but I'm not going to be mad. Now, some of you are basically saying, how much gold can you actually get out of this? To be honest, I'd have to melt it to tell you, because I'd have to, again, it's so many small pieces. It's going to take time to do that. Right. So I might even say something like this might even take 3 months, to be honest, because I'd have to put it through to reverse electroplate all of them. And then depending on the copper basket that I use, it take time, right? They could say you could just sell it to a refinery, but to be honest, don't do that if you have a backyard. Do it yourself. You sell it there, they're gonna charge you. They're gonna give you a small amount of money for that. Like they might say, "Hey, I'll give you $5 for this bag." I'm gonna be like, "Fuck no, hell no!" Because if I do it myself in this bag, all right, let me give you an example. Let's just say I get 2 grams out of this, right? Now, for those of you who actually don't know, the gold price has actually went up like an enormous amount right now. For those of you who haven't been actually looking at it, gold has absolutely went up, okay, to a very large amount right now. Now, do you know what the price of gold is? So if I were to go to the Money Metals website, Okay, just as an example, the price of gold right now is $2,655 an ounce, which is insane. That's an insane amount right now for those people out there who are looking at gold. Okay, now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pan my camera just over here so you can actually see what we're looking at. Okay, this is gold. Gold is about $2,654 an ounce, $85 a gram. Now that's good for people like you and me. Now, why is that absolutely good? I'm going to tell you why right now. Okay, let's see if I can get the stand back up. Okay, now why is that good? Let's just say I get 2 grams of gold out of each of these 1 pound bags, which is fine because, again, here's why I like this. Okay, all of this is covered in gold. It's not like PCB where it has gaps in it. The whole thing is covered in gold. Okay, so when you get a chance to reverse electroplate, this is going to be good. Okay, now let's just say I got 2 grams out of each bag here. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so many bags. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right? Just as an example, I have 18 bags and I'm getting 2 grams of gold out of each of them. So what we're looking at is 18 times 2, I think it's 36 right now, right? So 36, and then 36 times 85, okay, is going to end up being $3,000, $3,060. Okay. Now, what did I actually pay for this? To be honest, I paid about less than 30 bucks. You guys are going to be like, what? There's no way. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I went on eBay and bought it. Very simple. So again, what happens is they have to recoup their money. So they put it online on wholesale and people will bid on it. And if nobody bids on it, that means no one wants it and they throw it out. And I hate when they throw it out because I've seen videos of guys who work there and they have buckets. Like they would reverse electroplate something and they'll throw it right in the trash because it's the incorrect one. And I hate stuff like that. Like pounds and pounds of gold electroplated stuff just goes in the garbage and it sucks. Okay, so that's what I basically had. And for those of you basically saying, dude, there's a lot on the table, but I haven't even shown all of that, all of this here. Like there's so much of it here right now and it's cool. So I wanted to do this video to actually show you. And if you guys wanted to, when times are tough, you can actually just sell the stuff. When the economy gets bad, people start selling their personal possessions. You don't have to sell your personal possessions. Okay, to be honest, you can actually just sell what you can. Okay, but try not to sell anything. Get the gold out as best as you can so you can survive the winter. All right, guys, this is the video I'm putting up. If you have any questions or you want to see any special videos, I will be getting up early tomorrow morning at like 7 o'clock. And I'll be doing another video because I have all the boards that are done and I got a wire brush from Harbor Freight to get all those done. So I will be doing the video for that. And I'm going to have to upload it the next day because I have to stitch it together. All right. Pro Dumpster Diver out. Questions, comments in the bottom.